Hey guys, so today we are making our own noodles from scratch. What we're gonna do is add some squidding to it so it gets a nice black color. So what we wanna start with is some really good flour. We're gonna take 3 large eggs, and then to that, I'm gonna add about 1 tablespoon of cold water, a very generous pinch of salt, and then 1 tablespoon of olive oil, and then we're gonna add in our squid ink right here. About half a tablespoon should do. Look how black that is. While beating, slowly what you want to do is start incorporating the flour that's around it and kind of breaking that wall. As it gets thicker, you can go ahead and start mixing it until you activate really all that gluten that's in there. So this is when we start working it with our hands because it's much more efficient than doing it with a spoon. So what I want is a kind of nice smooth dough. So this usually takes about 10 minutes. After about 10 minutes of kneading, you should have this nice pasta ball dough, which is exactly what we want. So what we're gonna do is kind of just rest it for a little bit, for about 10 to 15 minutes in the fridge, wrap it in some saran wrap, and then it should be good to go. So after about 15 minutes to rest, pretty much good to go. What we wanna do here is roll it out nicely. So I'm gonna take a bit more flour here for my surface. And then what we wanna do is kind of roll it out into a nice thin sheet. Once you have something that's nice and thin, exactly how you want it, it almost looks like leather, then you're pretty much good to go. So what we're gonna do is one last kind of dusting, just all over on top of that. And then we're gonna roll it up, nice thin cuts. So we're left with this kind of beautiful, very light, bouncy pasta. Make sure not to kind of overwhelm it and put too much pressure on it. And we're just gonna let that dry for a little bit, maybe 10 minutes. You can keep it to the side while we work on our sauce. So I've got some garlic right here. So what we're gonna do now is get a big pot of water going. You wanna add like a lot, and when I say a lot, I mean a lot of salt to the water already so that the pasta's already flavored. And then we're gonna transfer that to our sauce, making it nice and thick and super flavorful. While that's happening, I've got another pan going here. Start with a little bit of olive oil, to which I'm gonna add some butter. Your garlic goes right in there. When my garlic is frying out nicely, I'm gonna add in some of my mussels. Not too much. You can use mussels, you can use clams. Get some of the juice that's left over in there. We're just gonna cook this out a little until they start popping, and then we're gonna hit it with a little bit of white wine. All of our mussels have popped nicely. I'm just gonna reduce the heat a little and wait for our noodles to cook. All right, so my water is nice and boiling, nice and salted as well. I'm gonna go ahead, take my noodles, which are a little dried out, and we're gonna put that right into the pot. And this should take about 3 minutes, so it's gonna be really quick to cook down. So when I cook pasta, I don't actually like straining it. I like to just grab it straight from the water and put it into my sauce. So all that starch that kind of released while cooking in the boiling water will just help all that sauce cling on to the pasta. Add a little bit more butter to the mix and just kind of mix everything together. And I'm gonna add a very quick basil chiffonade. So go ahead and roll out your basil and then just do very fine strips. That goes right into the dish. And now it's all about just getting all that flavor all around it. At this point is when we hit it with a little bit of salt, so some nice flake salt so that it melts really on top of the whole dish. And we're basically done. Start with all that pasta. See how perfectly kind of al dente and bouncy they are. It's exactly what I'm looking for. You kind of put all the mussels a little bit everywhere. If I could make pasta every day, this is how I'd make it. A little bit of black pepper. So I'm looking for a nice bouncy noodle and very clean flavors. I want to try some butter, some garlic, some salt, some mussels, some olive oil, and a little bit of squid ink, and that's all I want. It's cooked to absolute perfection, nice and chewy, and so clean and refreshing. Exactly my type of pasta dish that you need to try at home.